Hey everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is just back from Japan. I played some Airsoft, and I'm going to tell you I'm putting video of gameplay up, actually a little mini, kind of just a montage vloggy thing, and it is going to happen. I actually have got it, and in fact, the proof is here. Look, oh, it's me playing in Japan. Yes, I'm going to throw it up this probably next week. I've got to get something else going before that. Got a lot of stuff going on, a ton of new things in the pipeline, a ton of stuff I got to clear out, a lot of reviews, a lot of stuff. Just, if you guys haven't mashed the sub button, definitely hit the sub button below. Also, check out the web store. It supports the show. It also gets you some cool like patches and stuff, free shipping worldwide, so no matter where you live, it's gonna be that. Remember, it's like a couple weeks to ship. So link is in the description below and over in the corner. Aside from that, the show works on your questions. You put them in the comment section, you vote up your favorites. I dig deep every single week, try to get the favorites, and then some farther down the catalog, there's a ton. So please be consistent and persistent, and I will try to see those every single week and get them on the show, as well as your video recommendation of the week, which comes from you as well. Anyway, enough about all that. Oh, before I get into it, I do have timestamps below so you can see when the video starts, the questions, each one, as well as the video recommendation. So in the description below, you can click on a timestamp to jump forward and back to your favorite questions. Anyway, aside from that, let's go into what you're really here for, if I can use my words, and that is your questions in the Tippmann mail call. TGW Echo writes, all this talk about the millionaire doing the private island game, a lot of YouTubers have made a video about this. Do you think it's possible, and how would you run it? So the private island airsoft game with the money, golly, let me just get kind of comfortable here, because money in airsoft money in anything gets crazy. I think as long as there is a clear objective, if there's something, a way to, if you're gonna shoot someone and get them out, if there's a way to mark that or count that, especially on a big private island. I mean, how do you follow these people around? I don't know, there's a lot of questions I have on how to do it. How I would do it, if it's a millionaire, I would do some sort of targeting system, some sort of tracking, or better yet, maybe you have to carry a fragile object, something that you have to keep safe, something that you have to keep on you, and maybe something around your neck. So when the other guy comes up, he's got a scope cam, you have something visible to shoot. So that way, if like, oh, it's not there, you see that other person is cheating. They're trying to hide it. So I think maybe that's how I would do it. I think if they had the money, of course, something electronic, like a targeting system or something like that. But I think if you want to go budget, just something kind of fragile, something that could take a hit and shatter, maybe one or two, and that's what you had to do. So you're running away, you're trying to protect this, you can't take it off. Everybody's got cameras, you got a reverse camera and forward cameras and all that stuff. I think that's how I would probably run the event. Do my best to keep it, because that way if somebody takes it off and hangs it up on a tree, that reverse cam is going to show that it's not there, right? It needs to be something that's always going to be in reverse cam, something like that. I think if you could break it or steal it from the other players, collect those, I think that could work. So at the end of the game, you bring them in, and whoever has the pieces, then let's say they have like a death match, and then that's how you pick the winner at that one. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there. Like I said, anytime money's involved, it's always a little crazy with Airsoft, and I'm always a little hesitant to do anything like that. But I would love to see it. I think it'd be cool. I'd love to go do it. I know sometimes they've done the balloon thing, but I mean, through the leaves and stuff and the trees, you could hit the balloons and they could just pop that way. I would be all for it. I think it'd be the absolute coolest thing ever. I think you probably would see, it'd be surprising who would win. I don't think you would have the usual suspects would win. You wouldn't see like a Jet or a me or an Average. I think it'd be some random guy that would probably pull out of nowhere who's never played or very rarely plays who would win. It just always seems to be how it is. Like all of us would overthink how to do everything, and then they would just kind of work something out and make it happen. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys would do if you could do it. I mean, I'm sure you all would go play for money like that in a private island, but how would you put on the game? How would you score it? And how would you keep it fair when you couldn't keep tabs and track of everybody? I'm interested in seeing your ideas. You always have some great ones down there below in the comment section. Johnny M writes, hey Jonathan, I saw that the Hater has a Gen 2 version, although I already bought the Gen 1. I doubt I could trade it, so I was wondering if it would work better to mod my pistol or just to simply buy the Gen 2. Well, mod's gonna be tough. This is a redesign, a little bit on the internal parts. They've actually added a hop up to it. So The Gen 1 to the Gen 2 is not going to be something you're going to be able to mod to get you that. I also have the sights on the top. Now, the reason I'm talking about the H8R is probably one of the best-selling pistols of the last year or two. It's made by Elite Force, which is Umarex USA, and I've seen it trickle into other countries and everywhere else. It's a CO2 revolver. It uses a 10-shot, literally, I think, a clip or disc. It's not a magazine, it's a clip. It's like it clips in. You load the 10 rounds around it and you put it in there and you fire it. You get like 5 of them, I think, in the box, and it's budget price. I think it's like US dollars, around 60, give or take, US dollars. So it's very affordable. It was pretty darn accurate even in its non-hop-up version, but adding the hop-up and adding those sights, and just, I think they raised the price by just a little bit, not much. It's still very affordable, very south of 100 US. Still aims to be probably one of the most popular pistols. You would even think that like the new Glocks would be the big ones, or, you know, something like that. But I think this one, because of the price, is always going to dominate the market. But when I say is, if you like it, pick it up. If you're happy with your Gen 1, keep it. I mean, you're going to get your shots if it's an up-close pistol. If you want to get longer shots and you really need that hop-up and you want just the cool sights, the kind of the day glow sights, it's got a pair in the back and one in the front, those little kind that collect light, you know, little fiber optic green tube thingies. You just go grab one. It's not incredibly expensive, so you could save up. You could probably sell your old one for probably about half a retail. It's usually what they kind of go for. So like put on an app like Hop Up or something like that, or your local field, find someone who maybe wants to pick it up, use that money toward the other one. It'll help soften the cost of it. And then you maybe like 40, 50 US dollars out, maybe out of your pocket to pick one up, which, you know, you could save up some money and get that. Just my thought, but yeah, I think it's worth the upgrade just because of the hop up. That's a big thing. So in this case, I would say there's enough of a technology enhancement and a small price increase to say, you know what, maybe you're gonna take longer shots, give you an advantage on the field, and it does give you a big advantage on the field by having that hop up. Maybe you wouldn't make the jump. Wyatt O. Stanley writes, what do you think about binary triggers? All right, so binary trigger, let me get into this because this is kind of one of the top topics, like those long blade triggers you see. So some people have it where they take the trigger guard, like here, I'll use my finger, that little trigger guard right there, they'll take that out, gone, and then they make this trigger here really long so you can, you know, do your like double, triple fingers. I've seen fields immediately are disallowing that because you're able to use multiple fingers and get a lot more shots off, increase that rate of fire. The reason people are doing that, and this is why I'm explaining something that's not a binary trigger to you because I want to set this up, is it allows you to get around fields that are saying semi-auto only or rate of fire cap or things like that. By doing that, you can, you know, ramp up and be able to have an advantage and have more BBs in the air and have a higher rate of fire because you can just move your fingers faster because there's more than one finger. You can kind of just flutter them all and it keeps firing, and it's kind of like a paddle trigger, right? There's a company called Tap Airsoft that makes them. They do have their place. That's cool. If your field allows it and that's your thing, whatever. It's not my thing. It really isn't. I do like the guys at Tap. They're cool people. I'm not disparaging what they do. It's a controversial product and something that I don't personally, it's not something I'm going to buy, and probably something I'm not going to go to a field and play at if they allow it. It's just not kind of my thing. Binary trigger, the reason I was saying that, and there's a real world version for firearms, and that's where they're talking this over, is when you pull the trigger, it fires. When you let go of the trigger, it fires. So fire, 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 fire. So instead of a pull and a release, you get one shot, a pull gets a shot, a release gets a shot. So for every full cycle of your finger, you get 2 shots instead of 1 shot. That is what a binary trigger does. That essentially gives you double the rate of fire of anyone else in the field. And again, for me, it falls in the same category as the blade trigger. I have to say, I think there's some, I don't know if you can do this on any kind of MOSFET type systems yet. I haven't really seen a lot of it floating around out there yet. It's not become an issue at fields, but I think this is going to go right into that category with those blade triggers. It just, I mean, having an advantage, tuning your gun, setting up a fine trigger, those are all fine things, but this, really the intent is to get it. Now, what if you get that shot and you hold and you let go and you actually send a second BB down where you shouldn't have? Those are all things I think of that it's just not a good thing. It really isn't. It's not the spirit of the sport. The spirit of the sport is get a couple shots. I'll throw a couple out usually when I'll double tap people as I move through. But doing that, if I double tapped, I would be sitting 4 BBs out instead of 2 and that. So for me, I just don't believe in it. I don't like it. I don't think it's good, especially with the wide age range of players out there. And typically this feature is used to circumvent or get around the rules of no full auto or no high rate of fire. And that to me is just encouraging people to use this to bend and break the rules to just basically cause harm or mischief or whatever on the field. That's my thought. I just personally wouldn't use it. I'm a semi-auto kind of guy. That's how I played. So I played this weekend when I was in Japan. So I played pretty much most of the time. Sometimes if it's a full auto game and everybody's having fun, I'll do it. And definitely if I'm running support gun, I'm going to be a full auto guy because that's the nature of that. But playing normally, I am a semi-auto guy. I run mid-caps typically. Or like to carry fewer magazines, so I don't like to use a lot of ammunition as well. So anyway, just my thoughts. I'm curious on yours. If you guys have experienced a binary trigger out there in the wild, I haven't played against anyone knowingly that has them. I know like certain guns like the Vector has 2-round burst, which is kind of essentially, I don't know, it's not the same thing because this is a pull and release. That's at least 2 BBs on a single pull, so it's a controlled shot. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means, as always, it's time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. This one comes from you. Occasionally I do an audible. This week, not an audible, meaning I call my own. This week's definitely coming from you. This one comes from Spencer Askin, or Askin. I want to make sure I get your name, so I want to pronounce it both ways. It says, TriFecta Airsoft channel. That's it. And I'm like, okay, copy, paste, see what's up. I'm going to click on my computer right over here. I got everything like right off screen. I'll have to show you guys my office one of these days because that's just kind of it. So I checked it out. TriFecta Airsoft channel is like a month old. Like literally, it is a month old. I was like, wow, it's a really new channel, 100 subs at the time here. And so I was like, all right, I'll click on this Deadpool gun video, right? And I'm like, it starts off open. I'm like, well, that's a terrible opening. Like he like starts in the middle of the review, and then I realized what he did. I was like, oh, that's what you did. Then the opener, I was like, oh, okay. It got my attention. It made me go, And then I stayed and I watched and I was like, oh, okay. Quite well done. And I give so many gameplay video channels a good shake out there. And some people are mixing in some product stuff. This is a review channel. And I'm really happy about this. I want more review channels. I mean, that's what I do. I want more people doing what I do out there. So, I mean, just like Trifecta here, just like you guys and gals, my goodness, please make more review channels. We need more of what we do, what I do out there in Airsoft. And it's like, I love seeing recommendations for these because I think all of us, we need different views on products. Like my view is not always the best view. Trifecta may have a fantastic see things that I don't. And I was like, okay, this is cool. They've only got a handful of videos. Usually I don't recommend a channel that only has like 8 or 7 or 8 videos on here, but they've had consistency in a month. They've got them all up. They're not all dumped at once. They've been putting them up. And you know what? It's 3 guys, Trifecta, go figure. The one I'm watching, he's good. He's delivering really well to the camera. He's comfortable. It's framed right. There's good. I think it's got a lot. This channel's gonna go somewhere, to be honest. So I wanted to share it with you guys and gals, something definitely interesting to take a look at. So if you guys like what you see, head on over there. Of course, I have a link that would have popped up in the corner. There's always a link down there in the description box. And head on over, watch the video. If you like what you see, mash the sub button, and then put a comment under the video. Let them know I sent you over there. Just let them know that you guys are part of the big Airsoftology family. That's all of us, plus all these other great YouTube channels out there. And together we can help grow this hobby and sport. And of course, as always, if you guys and gals have a channel of your own or one you like, you can promote your own. It's totally cool. I totally allow that here. Put it down in the comment section below every single week. Make sure I do dig through it, like I said, and I'm going to try my best to get yours highlighted as long as it's consistent. Can't be a dead channel. You can't upload like once a month, you know. Make sure you're consistent. Try to at least do once a month, once a week. So I kind of look for. It doesn't have to have huge. This one's like, you know, 20 views on a video and 100 subs, but there's a lot of good stuff in this one. So I want to show you that there's more than just, oh, I'm grabbing the bigger channels. So anyway, that's it for this show. If you guys don't forget, web store, if you guys want to support me, helps a lot because, you know, I make the patches and that really goes to support doing this and keeping this content free here for you on YouTube. Because I know most of you guys are using ad blockers out there. I'm watching you. No, I know. That's life, right? Anyway, so until next time, go out and play some Airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.